Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
Approval rating by party affiliation. Go through this. Is the question clear? Is the question clear? Okay, there were 10 leaders and approval ratings are depicted for those 10 leaders in the graph. So first leader, for example, this leaders. So how do we interpret this, by the way? By party affiliation. So how do we interpret this? How do we interpret this? Yes. Leader one. Yeah, this is important actually. Researchers found that each leader had the highest approval rating from people who identified themselves as being members of the same party as that leader. This is important. And honestly, if you think this makes sense also. So for leader one had, so the exact interpretation of this would be that if 100 people, okay, not leaders, people, if 100 people identify themselves as being members of party A, then out of those 100 people, 81 people approved leader one. Similarly, if 100 people in this nation identify themselves as being members of party B, then out of those 100 people, 40 people are approving leader one. Similarly, if 100 people in that nation identify themselves as being members of party C, then out of those 100 people, only 17 or 18 approve of leader one. Correct? So this is how it needs to be interpreted. Now, according to the information provided, dash of the first 10 leaders were members of party A. Now, how do we do this? How do we do this? Where are you coming from, Royal? Yeah, notice researchers found that each leader had the highest approval rating Notice, for example, if we take leader one, right? Highest approval rating is coming from whom? Members of party A. So this is where this line becomes very important. Each leader has the had the highest approval rating from people who identified themselves as being members of the same party as the leader. Very important. So highest approval rating for leader one is from party A, which clearly means that leader one was from party A. In other words, if we flip around, for example, if we take leader two, right? We cannot say that leader two is from party A. Why can we not say that? Because the highest approval rating for leader two is from party B. A candidate from party A cannot have the highest approval rating from party B, according to this statement. So how many of these leaders were from party A? Very nice, Gautami. So we will just look at each of the three leaders and find out where the approval rating is highest from members of party A. So clearly, this would be one. Then fourth, am I correct? This, then sixth, then eighth, and then 10th. So 1, 2, 3, total 5. 5. Okay, and how many of those leaders, mind you, now this is slight English, how many of those leaders means we are only considering these 5 leaders. How many of those leaders had approval ratings higher than 50% from members of each of the three parties? Approval rating higher than 50%. Notice, for example, member 1 had approval rating of 80% from members of party A, but this person had only 40% rating from party B and around 17-18% from party C. So what we were looking for is that each of the three should have been greater than 50%. According to this, right? Higher than 50% from members of each of the three parties. So essentially what we were looking for is, I'm just hypothetically showing this. For example, if there was a leader who had, so if this was 50%, we were looking for like something like, for example, like this, right? Now notice, so this is party A, this is party B, this is party C. So while this person is clearly from party A, but this person's approval ratings are greater than 50% from members of all the three parties. So these kind of candidates, right, these kind of leaders would have qualified. But in this particular case, if you look at it, uh, here also notice it is actually lesser than 50%. Similarly, much lesser than 50%, again lesser than 50%, and lesser than 50%. So none. None of those leaders, none of these 5 leaders had approval ratings higher than 50% from members of each of the three parties. Any doubt, guys?